You're listening to an AppleVis podcast. Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Donville, also known as Anonymous. I'm going to use and demonstrate for you an iOS app with voiceover called Zuzanka. It's spelled Zuzanka. Kind of a unique name there. I like the name of it. And this is definitely going to fit in one of my tool belt that I'm going to keep on my device. This is definitely for those out there that are in the blind and low vision community that uses voiceover or magnification. It works with both and it works really well. The design of the app is to help us find expiration dates on products. Yeah, how many times I know, raise your hand if you've been there. You grab for a loaf of bread and to find out it's moldy, or you grab a condiment out of the refrigerator and you have no clue how old that thing has been in there. Is it expire or what? And if you're like me, I've tried everything underneath the sun. I tried the Seeing AI. I have tried Voice Dream Scanner. I tried Envision, SuperSense, you name it. I've thrown everything to the wall in helping me trying to find these expiration dates. And, you know, in some instances, they do work, but for most cases, they don't. Now comes Zuzanka, and that takes that problem away. I'm going to introduce you just kind of the interface here, show you how to run it, give you for a spin. I'll show some examples, and then I'll give you some of my thoughts on it, and then we'll go through the pricing for it. It is free to download in the iTunes stores, but it does have some in-app purchases that we are going to talk about. All right, let's go ahead and get the Zuzanka up and running here once it's installed on your device. In my case, it's on my iPhone. And I am going to find my Zuzanka on my home screen.
Zuzanka. Double tap to open.
Okay, so we're going to do just that. And we're going to do one finger double tap to open this up. And now I've already installed this. And if you're opening for the very first time, you are going to be given some set of instructions. And I'll show you that as well, what you can expect into that introduction. Otherwise, it's going to go straight to the menu of Zuzanka, and it's going to be ready to be scanning. And I'll just double tap it to pause so we can go through the interface first.
Zuzanka. Scanning. Torch inactive. Double tap to pause scanning.
Let's do that.
Paused. Double tap to resume scanning.
Now, the interface is very nice, very simple layout. I love the design of this. It is very well designed. Top left, we are going to start at
Where to look for expiry dates button.
That's pretty self-explanatory. That is an area that will show you all the suggestions and tips where you can find expiration dates. And believe me, that's difficult. It is hard to find. So that little area we will dive into is very helpful here. As I swipe to the right,
Menu button.
we have the menu button, which is at the top right. And I swipe one more time.
Paused. Double tap to resume scanning.
And then we have the area where it does the scanning, where you can resume and not. And then at the bottom left,
Previous scan button. Dimmed.
it's dimmed because I haven't had any scan results here since I opened this app. That will appear once we get a result. You can see your previous scans right there and go to the right.
Resume scan. Resume searching for the expiry date.
And there's your resume scan. That is at the bottom right. That is where you can find the resume, or you can just simply tap the center of the screen to resume or pause the scan. Let's go to the top left first.
Where to look for expiry dates button.
Let's double tap that. We'll just kind of glance through it. I'm not going to go through here in details, but I just want to at least let you know what you can expect in this area.
Back button.
Now that we've done a one finger double tap, we are at the top left, which is your back button.
Plastic bottles with a capacity of 0.33 liters on the cap.
All right. So it's telling you can find an expiration date in this particular case on the cap itself. We'll do a few more here.
Plastic bottles with larger capacity at 2/3 of the bottle's height, where it begins to narrow. Same for kefir and buttermilk.
That is true. A lot of the milk products you're probably thinking of, in my case, is right in that general area.
Bottles with ketchup and other sauces on the side of the cap, or on the neck if the neck is long. Sometimes on the back of a paper label.
So you can see for yourself how useful that is. I really like all these examples, and I'm really happy that they were able to give us an idea where that's at. Now, in my case, I sometimes in certain products, I'm just not able to find it, and whatever not. I generally have to have someone vision. And if you're like me, we pretty much order the same things over and over. And once you get to know the location, then we know where it's located. So that's a good thing part about that. Let's go to the back button here.
Back button.
Which is at the top left. One finger double tap out of there.
Paused. Double tap to resume scanning.
And then we are back to the main screen. I'll head into the menu last, and I'm going to go ahead and use a couple examples I have here. And granted, I did a test run, and to make this podcast fair, I know where the locations are and etc. So it kind of not fair, but these items that I'm going to show you first. 3 items, I was able to find it immediately. There wasn't much to it. I just kind of moved things around and I found it, which is really fantastic. And then some, I had to work on it a little bit more, and that's going to be true for any kind of apps like this, even if you're trying to use something for OCR or whatever not, or locating a barcode. You know how difficult that can be, and the frustration can be there. Yes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get my first item here. Now, the first 2 items I thought immediately is that I just got done, or recently I had a client that was in the vending machine business, and we could not for the life of ourselves was able to find a way for him to read a bag of chips or can of soda or candies and see when the expiration date, because that's important, because he needs to know when those products expire in the vending machine so he can get them out and replace it with the good stuff. Well, we can thank him for thinking about that for us. And plus, you might have some of these things around the house, and I sure do. And the first item is a bag of chips. Now, I admit I have tried CNAI, voice stream scanner, you name it, and I could never get a successful results off a can of soda or a bag of chip. Just couldn't. And so I was pleasantly surprised. Wow, it works. So let's give you an example here. I'm going to double tap this with one finger, and you're going to hear some tone. First thing is, you notice when it opened up, it says the torch was inactive. If it's dark, it'll be active, so you can turn the torch on. The torch is on the back of your phone. That is your flash, and we call that the torch. It turns on, so you'll be able to see the products that we are trying to find an expiration date. And you're going to hear these different sounds. You'll hear a tone, and the slow beeps just basically let you know that it's seeking for something for an expiration date. And as the tone gets quicker, it's found something, but not always guaranteed, but just kind of stand there for a couple seconds longer just to make sure that it is seeing what it needs to see. And if it doesn't do anything more, you just keep going. Otherwise, you just hold there for a couple seconds, and then it'll activate and give you the results if it finds one. So one finger double tap here.
Scanning. Torch active. Double tap to pause scanning.
All right. So we have the beep. And the torch is active, so it's a little dark in here. Let me grab my bag of chips here. And I'm going to gradually show it to the camera. And we're using the rear-facing camera.
Expiry date, 12/2022. Can be expired.
So there's that lovely chip. And yes, it's a good thing I scanned it today, right? It expired. It is the 1st of 2023, and that expired in December of 22. I suppose it's still good, but that's the point, right? It is expired, and that's for you to say, all right, you go into the trash can, goodbye. And so let's take a look and see what it says on the screen now. I'm going to go towards the top here.
Where to look for expiry dates button.
Now we're going to go to the right.
Menu button. Share button.
Now we have this something new called a share. This is pretty cool. So let me come back to that in a moment here. Go to the right.
Image with date. Double tap to open image screen. Expiry date, 12/2022. Can be expired.
So this gives you an example and of what the results found, and it includes an image. Now, why is that important? Well, I'll show you. Go back left here.
Image with date. Double tap to open image. Share button.
That share button, check this out. Double tap this.
Alert. Share image and copy text button.
All right. Do we share the image and text?
Share image and text button. Share image button.
Or just the image itself?
Share text button. Copy text button. Dismiss.
Isn't that cool? So why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why. Because now what I could do essentially is go back left here.
Copy text, share image button.
I can share this image, and that allows you to do the standard share sheet, which means I can mail this to somebody or message this to somebody. And if it's something that's really important, I don't want to throw out if it's something expensive or I'm just having a second guess, you can share this image with a friend, co-host, whatever, colleagues or family members and whatever not. So the point is that I'm able to share this with someone that can take a look at the image themselves and verify that it expired on that date. How cool is that? I wish, what I really would like is that I like this app so much. Sometimes you get false positives, and I'm going to show you a good example of that. But the point is, if I share, I would love to share this with the developers and say, hey, this didn't come out right. Could you fix this with a new update? It has potential. There's got some serious potential, and I think it can be rectified very easily on their end, and thus for in the future, it should be corrected. But in this case, it is correct. I had somebody look at that chip, and it has expired. So let's go to the dismiss here as I swipe to the right.
Share text, copy text, dismiss.
Double tap that.
Expiry date, 12/2022, can be expired.
Now, if you're ready to go on to the next scan, bottom right hand of the screen.
New scan, start searching for the next expiry date.
Is the new scan. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to put this bag of chips to the side here, and I'm going to get the next best thing that I had always had issues with is a can of soda. Yes. How many times have you done and you tried to do it, it doesn't work? Why? Because it's got that shiny aluminum to it, and I never could get any good results. Well, that's the good news is that I can. So I'm going to show you here. Double tap on new scan.
Pause scan. Pause searching for the expiry date button.
All right, let's do it again. I'm going to put the can
torch
of
inactive.
Soda.
Double tap to pause scan.
Which, by the way, the expiration date on the can of soda is on the bottom side. Weird place to put it, right? So we're just essentially taking the rear face camera and pointing to the bottom of the can.
Expiry date 03/23.
All right, so that one shows that expires in March of 2023. So that is a good can of soda. I guess I'll keep that around and consume it before March. I have a couple months to worry about that. And one thing I want to note, if you're having a hard time finding something, make sure you're in good lighting. It makes a big difference with good lighting and natural lighting. Yes, I know the torch can be on, but if you're dealing with something that's reflective, it's going to be an issue. So make sure you got some good natural and just kind of move things around in an angle so we can get that reflection off of the product that you're trying to scan. The other thing I can try to do is put the camera on top of the product first and then slowly just ease up and lift your phone up until it recognized it. In most cases, it was able to find things pretty quickly. All right, so let's go to the next product in line here. I have a cereal product. Yes, breakfast is for champions, right? And as they always say, make sure you have a good, healthy breakfast. I'm not sure if cereal is healthy, but it gives you the energy that you need for the day. Now, cereal products, anything that's flat and printed is usually it is going to find it very quickly. Yes, the Coke can is printed and the chip is printed. What I mean is that it's flat, it's not reflective or anything like that. I have good results on any box items that has items on there that's printed. So I don't usually have too many problems with that. So this should pick that up pretty quickly. So bottom right.
New scan. Start searching for the next expiry date.
And we're going to search for the new scan. Let's go ahead and do that. Double tap that.
Pause scan. Pause searching for the expiry date.
Here we go.
Expiry date 10/2023.
That went really quick. And once again, something like that is easy. Some things are really simple and some things are difficult, right? And so with that, it is October of 2023. So I am good for my Lucky Charms for another few months there. All right. And let's go to my final item. And I'm purposely picked this on purpose to kind of show you some of the results aren't as what we expected. And as I reminded you earlier, it is not always a bad idea to double check with somebody to make sure the expiration date is right. And I hope that the developer will give us an option to share some of the results with them to say, hey, this wasn't right. Can you fix it? And so I have every faith that they will. And let's go ahead. I have a can. I don't know what this can is, but this typically all the cans, the expiration date is on the bottom of the can. Pretty cool. So bottom right.
New scan. Start searching for the next expiry date.
That.
Pause scan. Pause searching for the expiry date.
And let's give it a whirl here.
Expiry date 21/08/22 can be expired.
All right. Now, did you hear that? All right. So in that example, it thinks expired. What is that? 08/21/22. So that is September of last year. And that is not correct. And it turns out it's kind of weird. Now, what I did there, I scanned what I thought was the bottom. You know, you can relate to that. What's up and what's down. Sometimes we can't figure that out on a can. And this case, a sighted person say, no, it seems to be some sort of a product number or whatever not on the top. Maybe that's when it was created or made. And so I was, and she said that the bottom actually had the expiration date. Now I can never get it to scan with the Zuzanka by any means. And to prove this, I'm going to get my Seeing AI out for this demonstration here.
Seeing AI.
Open that up.
Quick help. Menu. Button.
And I'm going to go to the channel at the bottom.
Channel. Short text. A document.
And do a document here.
No edges visible. Take picture. Button.
You line that up. And I'm going to take a picture.
Processing. Cancel. Button. Back button.
Let's see what it has to say. This is the same area where it thought it found the expiration date.
2200125000.
So the number does exist, but for some reason it got confused. I'm not sure what that number is, but now check this out. If I rotate the can and now I'll take a picture of the bottom.
22002220 back button. Back no. Menu, left edge, take picture, button.
And we'll do this
right
again.
Right and bottom edge is not visible. Processing. Back, button.
And let's see what we got here.
Best by 03/16/2024.
Now that's correct for can items. And you know what? Seeing AI did a great job there. And that's because it's printed really well. And like I said, some things it does well for Seeing AI, and in most cases it does not. That's one item I was able to find something really easy on Seeing AI. Before you start thinking, well, I'll start using Seeing AI like Anonymous did. Try that and let me know if you have any successful results. I don't. I like this because it's instantaneous, it's quick, and when it finds it, boop, it comes up. I don't have to go through all this stuff. So like in a bag of chips, if I did that, it will tell me everything on the chips, the flavor and the type, the brand, and then maybe it'll tell me what the expiration date on that, if you know what I mean. So let's go out of here, get back to Zuzanka here.
Apps, Zuzanka, active. Expiry date, 21/08/22, can be expired.
So use your mind, do some common sense, share this with someone, and report it to the developers if they ever introduce that option to do so. And keep in mind, and this is a great example, how most things works, some things don't, and finding things can be difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It can be tough, especially with items with plastic containers. What do I mean? Like condiments, like ketchup or mustard or whatever's in a bottle. I find that really difficult, especially if it's on the neck, like it says, to find it. For the life of me, most times I am not able to get it. I cannot do it. And that would be a great another example is if I could be able to take the picture and send it to the developers and say, hey, I'm not able to see this. Could you help me in configuring and tweaking the algorithm on your capability of seeing expiration date? Anything we can do to make this better, hey, I'm all for it. Now, at the bottom left,
previous scan goes to the previous recognized date button.
That's pretty much self-explanatory. So if you want to see your previous results, double tap that and it'll take you to the last scanning results that you had, and you can take a look at that. Now, before we head on out of here, let's go to top right.
Menu button.
We have the menu button. There's quite a few things in here to take note. Most cases, you don't need to do anything in this area, but for those that like to make some tweak to it, especially for those with low vision, are going to find some handy things in here that they want to change. One finger double tap here.
Dismiss button.
We have the dismiss button. I just love these new TTS voices. Dismiss. All right, go to the right here.
Date text size.
If you want to change the text size, this is for you. Where to come.
Language.
If you want a different language other than English, double tap that and change your language preference.
App theme.
Your app theme, if you'd like to change the theme.
Sonar sound. Switch button. On.
If you don't
Double
like the
tap to toggle
sonar
setting.
sound, it drives you batty. I don't know. For me, I think for blind people would probably want that so we can get an idea if we're getting close to an item or not. For those with low vision, I can see probably why you don't want that. Or if you just simply don't want to disturb anyone with the beeping that you're doing for about 5 minutes in the kitchen, right?
Haptic signals. Switch button. On.
Yeah, I forgot
Double
to
tap
mention
to
about
toggle
that.
setting.
Every time you get a successful results of an expiration date, you get a haptic feeling, which is kind of nice. But if that is something you want to save your battery or you just don't like the haptic sensation, you can give the option to turn that off.
Sounds and speech.
Sound and speech is only going to be for those with low vision, not using voiceover. Whatever current voiceover voice you're using is what it's going to use for the feedback that you get back. Otherwise, those with low vision not using voiceover, yes, you can select voices and adjust their volume and etc. so you can get voice feedback.
Torch.
Torch, if you like to keep the torch on all the time, for some reason you just like all of a sudden you're in a dark room and you feel like you need torch on, you can say, I want it to set to auto or always.
Subscription management.
We're going to come back to that. That is our subscription, which is the last thing I want to talk about.
Tutorial.
The tutorial. This is what you get when you first sign into Zuzanka for the first time. You'll go through these tutorials. I'll kind of go through this so you can see what it sounds like to you.
General.
You got general options. Let's go ahead and go in here first.
Back button.
And let's go through the screen and see what we have in here for you.
General. Heading. Consents. Double tap to expand.
This is something you might seriously want to consider. All right, so it's collapsed. So I need to expand this to see the items that we can deselect as consent. You'll be surprised what you're consenting in. But the nice part, you have the option to consent out of things. So one finger double tap to expand this.
Expanded.
Now,
Consents.
we have 3 items. Let's go to the right here.
Allow sending date images. Switch button. On.
If you
Double tap
want
to toggle
to
setting.
not share those images that you have success results with, it is going to send it anyway. Or if you double tap that, it turns that option off so it doesn't send the image back to the servers or developer.
Enabling this option will cause that application will send exact part of image where date is located to our database. This will help us improve the quality of expiration date recognition.
So that's kind of why I wanted my option the manual way. Hey, I didn't get good success here. Can I send this to you and to fix? So that's a good description.
Allow sending application crash reports. Switch button. On.
Do you allow crash
tap to
reports? So
toggle
here's a summary.
Enabling this option will cause the application to send an appropriate error report to our database if an error occurs in this application. This will help us faster fix application.
I don't have an issue with that. If it crashes at something I do want to report, so I'll send it automatically. But if you don't like that, once again, you can opt out of that. One finger double tap to turn that option off. And then lastly,
allow sending application analytics events. Switch button. On. Enabling this option will cause that the application will send some usage events to our database. For example, an event that a date has been recognized will be sent. This will help us better understand the use of the app.
That one I can understand why you don't want analytic information going back. If you don't mind, just keep that on. If you do mind, turn that option off. This is great. I love the option that we can say which option I do consent to and which one I don't. Don't you hate it when you find apps that you have no choice but to send the items without your consent? So I'm really happy that they gave us the option for that. So this is really prudent and important for you to know that it's here. And that way you can make a decision based on what you want.
Send email. Heading.
All right.
If you want to share your thoughts about the app or want to report a problem, feel free to send us an email. Send the email button.
There's the option to send an email. So any advice, tips, feedback, like my items about being able to share the image with them and to improve on it, that'll be something I will double tap and send to them.
Open terms of use button.
And then we get the usual legality issue that you can find in here. Let's go to top left here.
Back button.
Double tap.
Dismiss button.
Dismiss. All right. So let's go to the right here.
Date text sign. Language. App theme. Sonar sound. Haptic signals. Sounds and speech. Torch. Subscription management. Tutorial.
Let's go to tutorials. Let's go in here first. And these are the items you're going to see when you first open the Zuzanka for the first time.
Introduction. Heading.
And I'm going to have it read to you.
Welcome to the expiry date recognition app. In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the application. You will also learn about the sounds that will improve the process of searching for dates. Just press the buttons available in the tutorial to hear the sounds. If you want to read the expiration date, you first need to find it. We know this can be a difficult task. Therefore, in the tutorial, we will give you some tips to help you find the expiration date on the packaging. Slider. Change tutorial text size. 10%.
We're going to go to the right some more until we get to the next.
Slider. Change page. Back. Dimmed. Button. Next. Button.
And anytime you want to skip out of here, and this includes for the first time you open up, top left allows you to get out. I'm going to go to the next.
Next.
And go towards the top.
Close. Button. Getting started with the application. Heading. First, give the app permission to use the camera. Upon launch, the application immediately starts searching for expiration dates. Additionally, it signals its readiness for action with a sound that you will hear at regular intervals. Press this button to hear a tone informing that it is ready to recognize expiration dates. Button.
So this is kind of cool. So the tutorial not only just tells you things, but you can actually get to hear the different results. So let's see what this sounds like. One finger double tap.
Press this button to hear a tone informing that it is ready to recognize expiration dates.
So that sounds familiar. So it's ready to scan.
Press this button to hear a tone informing that the expiration date scanner is active. Button.
Okay.
Press this button to hear a tone informing that the expiration date scanner is active.
So we did hear that dink, and it does do that. Just to let us know it's in the process of scanning.
Slider. Change tutorial text size. 10%.
And we're going to swipe to the right until we get to next.
Slider. Back. Next. Button. Next.
And go towards the top.
Close. Button.
And if any time you want to skip, go to the close button.
Recognition of expiry dates. Heading. When the app sees something that might be an expiration date, it will signal it by beeping every second. Press this button to hear a tone indicating expiration date detected. Button. Press this button to hear a tone indicating expiration date detected.
So you can hear that beep is quicker. So that means it's locating it and it found something. Now just hold still for a second.
Move your phone over the product until you hear a series of beeps in short intervals. Press this button to hear beeps in short intervals. Button. Press this button to hear beeps in short intervals.
Whoa. There it is. So it's finding it.
Such a quick beep means that the application is reading the date. Try not to move your phone. Within a maximum of a few seconds, the algorithm should read the date. When the app will recognize the expiration date, you will hear the following sound. Press this button to hear a beep sound that will be played when expiration date is recognized. Button. Press this button to hear a beep sound that will be played when expiration date is recognized.
I'm telling you, and you probably agree, this tutorial is fantastic. So it tells me exactly what to expect, what the sounds are about, and etc. I just love this.
However, if the application still beeps every second, try either zooming in out of the phone a bit so that the product can be seen better, or pointing the camera at a different place on the packaging.
That's what I was telling you about. It's never hurt to kind of take your phone, place it on the product or the item you want to scan, lift it up slowly, and see if you can find it. If you have no success, try a different area, put the phone down, zoom back out. Yeah, it's a little more tedious and a little bit longer, but you might have better success if you did a quick glance around. If it's obvious, it's going to find it immediately. If you don't have something that's obvious, then you might want to do that advice and tip that I gave you.
Application sounds volume can be changed at application settings, top right corner of the screen. Sounds volume settings. When scan is started or date is recognized, phone will make vibration. When scan started, 1 short vibration. When date recognized, 1 longer vibration. You can disable or enable vibrations in application menu, haptic signals. Slider. Changed slider. Back. Next button. Next.
Go to the top here.
Close button. Screen with recognized expiry date. Heading. After recognizing the expiry date, it will be displayed on the screen, both in the text version and in the form of an image. To see all sharing options for the recognized date and its photo, press the blue share button at the top of the screen. When you use VoiceOver, the date will be read in a synthetic voice or displayed on the Braille display. If you want to send an image and date text at the same time, select Share Image and Copy Text. This will allow you to share the image and keep the text version of the date saved to your clipboard. Note, some apps do not support the Share Image and Text option and only share the image or text.
So this tutorial is fabulous. I'm not going to bore you, go through the whole thing here. So I'm going to go to the top here.
Close button.
Double tap close.
Dismiss button.
And then lastly, what I want to go over is the pricing and subscription. Let's go to the right until we find that.
Date texts, language, app theme, sonar sound, haptic signals, sounds and speech, torch. Subscription management.
Here we go. So let's double tap here so you can get an idea of what is available and might be into your budget. So double tap that.
Back button.
And let's go to the right.
Subscription management. Heading. Get unlimited access to the expiry date scanning. Free trial will be put on hold during subscription duration.
Okay. Now, the first thing I want to tell you that it doesn't really state in here, but when you first install Zuzanka for the very first time, you have 24-hour periods. Once you open Zuzanka up, you have a 24-hour period where you have unlimited scan all you want. It's free. After the 24 hours, you get 1 free scan per day without any subscription. So if you want to just scan 1 item today, you can do that without purchasing a subscription. If you want more than that, then once you subscribe to a subscription, you have the option to do a 14-day trial, which is cool on here. You do not have to sign up for anything. You just double tap that and it'll give you 14 days of unlimited scans that you want before you are forced to purchase a subscription or stay with the 1 per day scan. Now, that is as of this recording of the podcast. Obviously, things can change at the time of this listening of the podcast.
System subscriptions management. Heading. To manage subscriptions, press button below. Open Manage Subscriptions System screen. Button. Auto renewable subscriptions. Heading. Purchase an auto-renewable subscription and get unlimited access to the expiry date, scanning for the duration of the subscription. At the bottom of this screen, you will find information on how the auto-renewable subscription works. Subscribe for $1.99 per month. Button.
So the first option is $1.99 per month. If you want to go to a month, basically, it's only $1.99, and that gives you unlimited scan during that month.
Subscribe for $7.99 per 6 months. Button.
This is kind of cool. I haven't really seen 6-month option very often. For $7.99, you can do per 6 month.
Subscribe for $13.99 per year. But
there's your per year. And then lastly, we have a lot of you are going to love this.
Lifetime access. Heading.
Yes, they offer lifetime access. I thought the price is fair and decent.
Pay once and get lifetime access to the expiry date scanning. Purchasing lifetime access does not cancel active subscriptions. If you have active subscription, you can cancel it in your account settings. Purchase lifetime access for $19.99.
So for $19.99, you get a lifetime subscription. And so that is the subscription base. And now, to me, I think this was very useful. I love it. Hey, I mean, my gosh, why wouldn't you want to put this in your tool belt and use the free version that you get one free scan a day? If you end up using more and you really like it, hey, consider doing a monthly or even yearly, and best yet is a lifetime purchase, which I really like. I think the price is fair, and I think it has a lot of potential in being able to help me in my everyday life. I know that some of you out there had some pretty negative results on your scanning. I'll be honest, on my non-biased scanning, I was able to find quite a few things really easily, and some things, like I mentioned before, are just hard. And again, I think this will only get better as they tweak the algorithm, make things better, and I think add some features, as I mentioned in this cast, I think that will greatly make things improve for all of us. And the more items that you scan to send up to the database, the better results we are going to get in the future for all of us as well. I am a very happy camper. I am going to keep this. I am considering doing the lifetime subscription myself, and I think that's the angle that I'm going to go with, is because I do come across things on a daily basis I need to have scanned. Heck, even every other day or once a week, I need to check something in the fridge, especially meat products that is labeled on the package, which is pretty easy to find, and it'll tell me immediately, yes, you can do the old sniff test if you want to say, oh God, that smells bad. But hey, you don't have to worry about breaking that out and doing the sniff test anymore. You just put this baby out and just scan it. It'll tell you if it's expired or not. And heck, I've been eating these bag of chips that are a month old. So you know where I'm coming from, and I want to present this Zuzanka to you. It is free to download. You heard the different types of pricing, and this will be up to you of your general preference if that's something you would want and to put into your daily livelihood. All right, that's going to do for me. My name is Thomas Donville, also known as Anonymous. Until next time, bye-bye.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of applevis.com. For the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device, visit www.applevis.com.